हरे कृष्ण. आजचा हा फार एक महत्वाचा विषय आहे आणि कदाचित आपल्यातून काही लोकांना असं वाटू शकतं की भीती ही केवळ लहान मुलांना वाटते आणि कदाचित मोठ्यांना ही भीती वगैरे काही फारशी लागू होत नाही. हा विषय त्यांच्यासाठी असा रुचकर वाटत नाही. पण मी तुम्हाला अनुभवाने सांगू शकतो की भीतीचे वेगवेगळे प्रकार आहेत आणि भीतीचे वेगवेगळे स्तरही आहेत. त्यामुळे दिस इज वन इमोशन that is universally applicable. I can assure you this, की या इमोशन मधून कोणीही सुटलेला नाही. सो हू हॅज फिअर? स्टुडंट्स परीक्षेबाबत आहेत. टीचर्स अबाउट देअर टीचिंग इव्हॅल्युएशन, आर दे टीचिंग प्रॉपरली? प्रोफेशनल्स, they are worried about their promotions. Surgeons are worried about outcome of surgeries. Is it successful? Is it not successful? Managers always come up with some plans for improvement. They are fearful about their revised plans. Businessmen are worried about the fluctuating stock market. Whenever there is an election, politicians, the biggest politicians, most successful politicians, but even they are fearful about the outcome of elections. Lawyers are always fearful. After they present their cases, finally it is up to the magistrate, the judge. Criminals are fearful of meeting a policeman, and the police are fearful of punishing a non-criminal. And if you have some another set of professions, maybe a trader is fearful of the loans that he has given. उधार खात्यामध्ये जे काही जमा असतं ते उधारात दिलेलं सगळं त्याला परत पैसे मिळणार आहेत की नाही. कुठलाही व्यापारी यामध्ये नेहमीच त्रस्त असतो. सो देर आर डिफरंट काइंड्स ऑफ फिअर्स and none of us can say that we are free from those fears. So who is free from this emotion called fear? Actually, if you see, from young age to old people, from professionals to self-employed people, from doctors, lawyers, engineers, architects, whoever it is, everyone has some kind of fear. And that's why it's very important to discuss this. I have only one example of fear with which I want to prove one point. So we all know of something called as partition. It's one of the most impacting event in this subcontinent of India. So today we see how one country, actually it was one country, and that country, when the Britishers left us, the person who was given the charge, he had only 40 days to decide the border between these two countries. So already a lot of problems had happened, and a Britisher was given this charge, and he was given a period of 40 days. In 40 days, he has to draw the border between these two countries, and then he did a very useless job. He actually did not do a good job. He just wanted to leave India, and he created a lot of damage for India. But anyways, we are faced with the reality today. The reality is that whenever you outsource something very important to a person who is not concerned, then all of us should be prepared for the long-term consequences, which can be extremely disastrous. So you can always remember this example, that when it came to drawing the border of this country, somebody local should have done it. But when one Britisher did it, then he did a lousy job because he was not interested in this country at all. So anyways, we come back to the point. But today we have a situation where there is always enmity between these two countries, and there is so much feeling of threat between these two countries, neighbors. So the question on the screen is, if one country is preoccupied with defending against another country, will it be able to plan for its own progress? So a good amount of GDP that could have been used for many positive purposes in India is spent for designing defense equipment and for planning different measures of defense against the neighboring country. And what about the neighboring country? At one point of time, more than half the GDP of the neighboring country was being used for activities that were to some extent meant for defense, but also to a large extent to spoil the social atmosphere of India. It means terrorism uh, and antisocial activities. There are a lot of details to that. But the whole point in today's seminar is that's why I have not mentioned India or Pakistan. I am saying if one country is preoccupied with defending against another country, will it be able to plan for its own progress? स्वतःचं भविष्य, स्वतःचा उत्कर्ष, स्वतःची प्रगती याच्यावर चिंतन करायला, याच्यावर मनन करायला या देशाकडे वेळ उरेल का? Obviously, very less chance. So then, my dear friends, if one person is preoccupied with defending against another person, will it be able to plan for his own progress? So whether it is at society level, whether it is at national level, or whether it is at personal level, but all of us should understand that till the time we are occupied with a fear factor, this is an example of fear from a person. The previous slide was an example of fear from a country. And the slide before that, we had students fear, teachers fear, doctors fear, engineers fear, architects fear, lawyers fear. So fear is something that is constant. So obviously, this person is constantly thinking about some fear from that another person. He will not be able to plan for his own progress. So from this one example of fear, we can learn that fear is actually a very paralyzing emotion. Fear paralyzes us. Can you imagine for a moment some situation in your life when there was extreme fear in your life? And I remember one situation that we were doing some mountain climbing and we went into a cave, and then suddenly one person came there and he said, "Do you know where you are standing?" And we were three or four of us. We said, "No." He said, "This is the cave of a bear." एक अस्वल, त्याचं त्याची गुफा आहे, त्याचं घर आहे. आणि तुम्ही जर इथून लवकर निघून नाही गेले, तो जर आला तर मीही तुम्हाला वाचवू शकणार नाही. So we did not have time to argue even with this person. And I had doubts whether this person actually is speaking the truth or not. But then there were others with me who said, I think we should leave this place as soon as possible. So it is something that is paralyzing. You can't think properly. You can't speak properly. You can't express yourself properly. And if you can't even think properly, if you can't even speak properly, where is the question of managing? Where is the question of planning for your future? प्रत्यक्षातच अस्तित्वातच जर गडबड आहे तर भविष्याचं प्लॅनिंग वगैरे करण्यासाठी तर कठीणच आहे खूप. इवन इफ इट इज नॉट अ पॅरलायझिंग इमोशन, आय कॅन टेल यू इट इज अ डिस्ट्रॅक्टिंग इमोशन. डिस्ट्रॅक्टिंग म्हणजे आपण जे करायला बसलोय आपल्या आयुष्यामध्ये, आपल्याला जे काही कमवायचंय, आपल्याला नाव कमवायचंय, यश कमवायचंय, बट इफ यू आर कॉन्स्टंटली फेसिंग फिअर, वी विल नॉट बी एबल टू परस्यू अवर गोल्स इन लाईफ. आपल्या आयुष्यात आपल्याला जे काही मिळवायचंय ते आपण करू नाही शकणार. So either it is a paralyzing, it will not allow you to move, or either it is a distracting emotion. So there are so many stories about this. One time, one person, he was working in a cold storage factory. So it's a go down and food products are stored there. Even in today's times, a lot of storage happens in cold storage areas. So this person was the technician of refrigeration, and he entered one such room which was programmed to be at minus 20 degrees centigrade. And as he entered, for some reason, the door shut behind him. And basically, he got locked. And this was night time. There was nobody in that cold storage area. And when he realized that I cannot move out of this room unless somebody comes in the morning. But by morning time, if he stays in a room that is minus 20 degrees centigrade, then basically he will be frozen to death. And this is exactly what happened. That in the morning, they entered that room and they found this person dead. But the person who found this technician dead, there was a friend of his who was standing next to him, and he's saying, I don't know why this technician is dead, because the technician was called to that room because the refrigeration in that room was not working properly. So actually, there was a complaint from the factory manager that the temperature in that room is not even negative. It could be something like 5 degrees or 10 degrees or something like that. And because the refrigeration was not working properly, this technician was called to solve the problem. But the technician, when he entered inside, he forgot all about the problem for which he has been called. And he is thinking, now I am in this room and the temperature is set to minus 20 degrees centigrade. And I think I cannot survive. And that is exactly what happened. So he got paralyzed. His brain stopped working. His memory did not function properly. And he forgot why was the reason he was called to that room. He was called to the room because there was a refrigeration related problem. And the next morning, when they found him, the room temperature inside was hardly 10 or 15 degrees centigrade. But there was a paralysis that happened. And then he got distracted from thinking properly. And probably he could have survived, but he died. So we have to understand fear is a very paralyzing and a distracting emotion, and we have to be very careful with fear. What exactly is fear? Actually, fear is a human emotion that is triggered by perception of threat. The threat may be there, the threat may not be there. But if there is a perception of threat, then there is fear. And actually, it's a basic survival mechanism that signals our bodies to respond to danger. So typically what happens is, physiologically, some systems in our body, like the digestive system or some other system, which is not exactly the most crucial system at the time of perception of threat, is basically shut off. So the brain immediately sends signals to the body, there is a perception of threat, and the digestive system will go cold. And something that can really protect us, like our eyesight will become more sharper, our heart will start pumping more blood because it wants to make us more active and like that. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. Think about those who have lived for a long time in fear. For example, soldiers. And if a soldier has spent maybe 1 year at the border and he spent time at the border when there was a war going on. So there is constant element of fear. Maybe the enemy will attack us. Maybe there is an ambush. Ambush म्हणजे आपण जिथे आहोत तिथे कधीतरी ते लोक येतील आणि सगळं नष्ट करतील. There could be fear of falling bombs. There could be a fear of stepping on a grenade or a mine and getting blown up. Anything can happen. And actually, even if you survive that battle, you are exposed to a lot of violence, you're exposed to a lot of blood. And you might think, हे सगळं तर कठीणच आहे परिस्थिती. So in such a situation, what happens is basically some of the non-crucial systems, like I mentioned, the digestive system and all, they are basically shut down or they are in a very weak situation. And so many other things which can help us, like run, the legs become strong, the hands become strong and like that. But over a period of time, when you lead a life like this that is based on fear, it has severe issues, it has a severe impact on the whole body. Such people will be very difficult, will find it very difficult to plan their lives. They will find it very difficult to think positively in their life. Everything that is proposed to them, they can come up with a negative solution to it, or they can come up with a negative perspective to it. They will face a lot of health issues because inside, physiologically, the body is not functioning properly. The body is basically functioning as if there is a perception of constant threat. So all of us, we could be aware of this term called PSTD, post-stress traumatic disorder. So if you undergo a situation in your life where there was a lot of stress, then because of that, for a long number of years, as soon as you see something like that, then it induces memories. Like, for example, I was talking about a war, and in a war situation, let's say there was an attack on one particular camp, army camp, and that day it was very foggy, or that day it was raining heavily. So that soldier, when he has seen that, it registers in a very strong way on his mind. And tomorrow, when he comes back home, as soon as he sees a foggy day, and if it starts raining, then the whole memory is triggered off. The sequence goes uh, on the on his mind screen, and then the same emotions of fear get triggered off. So it's actually very disastrous. But then that is our basic survival mechanism. So you cannot stop it. So one interesting thing about fear is it is something which is very basic and it cannot be stopped, but we can understand how to deal with it properly. So how to deal with this? There is this very beautiful Subhashit by Chanakya Pandit. He says, Udyoge nasti daridryam, japato nasti patakam, maune cha kalaho nasti nasti jagrite bhayam. Where there is hard work, there can be no poverty. Where there is meditation, there can be no sin. So interestingly, every alternate Sunday in the morning, we do meditation. All of you are invited for that. Where there is silence, there can be no fighting. Fighting happens only when words clash with each other. And where there is vigilance or alertness, there can be no fear. Nasti jagrite bhayam. So basically, when we want to deal with fear, we cannot take it out from our life. It is part of the body's defense mechanism. But we have to be very vigilant. We have to be very alert. And in this way, we can deal with fear. So I have written down the top 10 kinds of fear. This was a survey done all over the world, and this is what they came up with. So the most prominent fear is fear of flying. After that is fear of public speaking, fear of heights, fear of dark, fear of intimacy. Sometimes people have grown up as loners. एकटे एकटे राहायला त्यांना आवडतं. अशा लोकांच्या जवळ जेव्हा कोणी जातं, चांगल्या उद्देशाने जातं, चांगल्या भावनेने जातं, पण त्यांना त्याची भीती वाटते. Fear of death, fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of spiders, and fear of commitment. So these are the top 10 kinds of fears. So what I did is I put them in different categories. So basically, fear of flying, fear of heights, and fear of spiders is something that is not very natural to human beings. Human beings naturally don't fly. So when you put a human being into an airplane and take him to a great height, then he feels unnatural, and that is why there is a fear. Also, we are creatures of land. So when you take a human being on top of a mountain, or you take him high up a staircase, then because it is unnatural, he feels fearful. Also, spiders, we're not used to staying with spiders. गाई, कुत्रे, मांजरी जसं आपण घरी ठेवतो तसे spiders ठेवत नाही. So it is something unnatural. So I have grouped these three fears into this category of fear of unnatural. Then I saw that fear of public speaking is basically fear of social pressure. Fear of failure is, अरे लोक काय म्हणतील, मी यशस्वी नाहीये. Or fear of rejection, जेव्हा चार चौघांमध्ये मी काही एक गोष्ट मांडतो किंवा चार चौघांमध्ये मी एक विचार मांडतो आणि इफ सम पीपल रिजेक्ट इट, then how will others perceive it? So basically these three fears are fears related to social pressure. लोक माझ्याबद्दल काय समजतील, माझ्याबद्दल गैरसमजूत होऊ शकते लोकांची, and like that. And then fear of dark, fear of intimacy, fear of death, and fear of commitment. I grouped them into the category of uncertainty. अंधारात काय आहे माहिती नाही मला, शेजारच्या कमऱ्यामध्ये अंधार आहे तर लहान मुलांना जाण्यासाठी भीती वाटते. फिअर ऑफ डार्क, फिअर ऑफ अनसर्टन्टी. Intimacy, I don't know what this relationship will lead to in the future. Fear of death is uncertainty. And also fear of commitment is fear of uncertainty. Well, I'm committing to this relationship, but will it work out properly? Will there be reciprocation from the other person also? And so this could be a relationship commitment, or this could be a commitment in our profession. We join some hospital and we are very committed to that hospital, but will our employer also reciprocate with our commitment? And that's why I've kept it into these uncertainty category. So overall, there are these top 10 kinds of fears, and I have three categories: unnatural, social, and uncertainty. So we'll first look for solution for unnatural. There is something on the screen. I'll give you a chance to unmute. Does anybody know what is it that is there on the screen right now? The photograph. Yes. Yeah, very nice. Actually, it's a silkworm, and this is a cocoon of a silkworm. So sometime before this cocoon was formed, actually, it was a nice little worm, and this nice little worm, it secretes saliva and it creates a thread, and it secretes the thread around itself, and that is how a silk cocoon is formed. And then later these cocoons are taken and they're boiled in water, and that's how you get silk. So the source of this fear of unnatural, this category, is that we are not willing to embrace reality, and we are trying to hide in a cocoon of artificiality. So this worm, the silkworm, actually it was healthy, and it started weaving a cocoon, and by weaving a cocoon it became disconnected from reality, and then slowly getting disconnected from reality, finally it has to die. Yes. So this example is used for understanding the life of Hitler. Actually, Hitler was very popular and very charismatic speaker. He knows how to speak what words at what time, and very uh, very good at giving speeches. So why did Hitler lose the World War? Hitler lost the World War, it is said, because at one point of time, the last part of his defeat was that he sent a huge army to Russia. Lost the World War, it is said. The last, yeah. So they attacked Russia, and it was winter time. And when they attacked Russia at winter time, it was, I think, the city of Leningrad. So the city, they cut themselves off, and all the Nazi soldiers, they were on the outside of that city, and it started snowing. And in that snow, they did not have warm clothes, they did not have proper food, they did not have boots for themselves. So a major part of the army that had attacked Russia actually perished in the snow. बर्फात थंडीने मेले अर्धे लोक. आणि शहराच्या लोकांनी काय केलं होतं, they had isolated themselves. So they knew that they will be attacked. So they had planned for some food, they had planned for wood, so they would burn that wood for their heat. So बर्फामध्ये त्या शहराचे जे लोक होते त्यांच्याकडे त्यांच्यासाठी इंधन होतं, खाण्यासाठी जेवण होतं वगैरे. And this whole army, it basically perished in the snow while surrounding that city. So if it was not winter, जर तो थंडीचे दिवस नसते, जर ते बर्फाचे दिवस नसते, so Hitler's army would have conquered that city, and today the situation had been different. So now the question comes, if Hitler is so intelligent, didn't he know this? He knew this. But what happened is, over a period of time, he was successful in everything he did. प्रत्येक गोष्टीमध्ये तो यशस्वी होता सुरुवातीला. म्हणून जेव्हा रशियावर थंडीच्या दिवसांमध्ये चढाई करण्याचा निर्णय घेतला गेला, तेव्हा some of his advisors, they told him, sir, this is not the right time to attack Russia because this is winter time and it snows in Russia and there can be a severe disaster there. But Hitler, because he was self confident and he thought that he is the most intelligent person, he did not want to listen to anybody. So, what he did is he basically killed those who advised him against attacking Russia. And when some of his close advisors saw की ज्यांनी याला सत्य सांगितलं, ज्यांनी याला सावध केलं, त्यांनाच यांनी मारून टाकलं. मग म्हणाले, मग आम्ही कशासाठी खरं बोलायचं? आम्ही जर खरं बोललो तर आम्हालाही गोळ्या मिळतील. So they kept quiet. And in this way, basically what Hitler did was, Hitler made a cocoon of something that was very artificial around him because he has his own ego and he is not willing to accept reality. And we all know what happens to a silkworm when it surrounds itself with a cocoon. Very soon, that silkworm has to die. So that is what exactly happened to Adolf Hitler, that he was not able to understand reality, he is not able to accept reality, and that is how he died. So I just want to ask any one of you, do you have any idea about the most powerful and the most influential person at that time? How did he die? Anybody knows how did he die? Which war, or who shot him or something like that? Does anybody know how he died?
Suicide.
So it's very interesting that the person who, just by the power of his speech, he basically made the whole country enthusiastic. And he sold this idea to Germany that in World War I there has been a lot of injustice with you. आपल्या देशावर भरपूर अन्याय झालाय आणि त्या अन्यायाचा आपल्याला बदला घ्यावा लागेल. सो त्या बदल्याच्या भावनेला त्यांनी प्रज्वलित केलं. And just by the power of his speech, he basically put energy into an entire country. And that's how World War II started. And the most interesting thing is, this person, when his army perished in Russia, he had made a bunker inside ground. तर त्याला एवढी भीती वाटत होती नंतर नंतर की त्यांनी जमिनीखाली जर काही बॉम्ब वगैरे पडला तर मला काही होऊ नये म्हणून स्वतःसाठी एक लोखंडाच्या भिंतींची रूम बनवली होती जमिनीखाली. अँड बेसिकली ही अँड हिज वाईफ they they took some pills and they committed suicide. So his wife's name is Eva Braun. Eva Braun and Adolf Hitler, they took some pills and they committed suicide. So nobody knows that. How most people don't know. Most people thought maybe he fought some war in a brave manner and he died. But he is one of the most, silkworm like. I always remember this picture of a silkworm whenever I talk of Adolf Hitler. So, solution for that unnatural category of fear is we need to reconnect to reality. Unless we reconnect to reality, we cannot solve those fears that are there in the unnatural category. म्हणून वास्तविकतेत जगायला आपण शिकायला पाहिजे. तो वास्तविकता काय आहे? व्हॉट इज अवर कल्चर? व्हॉट आर अवर रूट्स? आपल्या आई वडिलांनी आपल्याला काय संस्कार घडवलेत? Sometimes what happens is when we go to the city to learn in some big college, or sometimes we read some foreign magazines, we watch foreign movies, Hollywood movies. Unknowingly, we get influenced by these Western ideas. And I cannot tell you how much damage has been done in the Western world because of this concept of greed and exploitation. I'll forward you one article after today's class that in a place like UK recently, Prince Charles, he has made a public notification that farmers in a country like UK, the number of farmers has reduced to less than 1 lakh. पूर्ण त्या देशामध्ये आता केवळ 1 लाख फक्त शेतकरी उरले आहेत. And that is extremely less amount. And Prince Charles is basically worried about the country की आपल्या देशाचं काय होणार आहे म्हणून. So recently he issued a public notice saying की आपल्या देशाचं थोडं कठीणच दिसतंय वगैरे. I'll forward you that article. Also, Britain is one of the first countries to hire a ministry. They have a ministry called loneliness ministry. So आपल्याकडे एनर्जी मिनिस्ट्री आहे, एज्युकेशन मिनिस्ट्री आहे, पण UK मध्ये लोनलीनेस मिनिस्ट्री आहे. So at one point of time, these Britishers used to rule the entire world and they thought that they are very intelligent. Now they have come to a situation where loneliness, ektepada, has become such a big problem that they need a ministry for it. And now they are thinking की थोडं आपण unnatural जीवन जगतोय. आपण फॅक्टरीज भरपूर ओपन केल्या आहेत, पण शेवटी nuts and bolts we cannot eat. So I'm just giving this as an example. की टिल वी कनेक्ट टू द रियालिटी, वास्तविकता बदलणार नाही, वास्तविकतेला आपण झाकू शकतो, पण वास्तविकतेला कृत्रिमतेने आपण रिप्लेस नाही करू शकत. सो दिस इज माय सोल्युशन टू इट, दॅट वी हॅव टू अंडरस्टँड व्हॉट इज अवर कल्चर. आपल्या संस्कृतीमध्ये, आपल्या धर्मामध्ये काही मूळ सिद्धांत आहेत, आणि ते मूळ सिद्धांत जरी आपल्याला वाटत असतील की आजच्या जमान्यामध्ये, आजच्या जगामध्ये कोण याला काय भाव देत आहे, पण आय कॅन टेल यू ओव्हर अ पिरियड ऑफ टाइम यू विल फाइंड लॉट ऑफ सॅटिस्फॅक्शन when you practice certain basic principles of our culture. So reconnect to reality. मग सोशल ची जी कॅटेगरी होती त्याच्यासाठी सोर्स काय आहे त्याचा, वाय आर सो मेनी पीपल फेसिंग दिस फिअर ऑफ सोशल प्रेशर, की ऍक्च्युअली in our life there is so much technology now that there is an illusion of control through technology. I can control my phone, I can do what I want on my phone even at midnight. आधीच्या काळी असं नव्हतं, दिवसा काम करायला लागायचं, रात्री अरे ते दुकान बंद झालं, आता जाऊन काय फायदा, आता दूध पाहिजे, अरे पण दुधाची डेअरी बंद झाली संध्याकाळी 7 वाजता, आता जाऊन काय फायदा. आता तसं नाही, आता सगळी दुकानं बऱ्यापैकी लेट पर्यंत उघडी असतात. काही नाही झालं तर अमेझॉन वगैरे तर 24 अवर्स चालू आहे, ती दुपारी 2 पासून ते रात्री 2:30 पर्यंत तुम्ही कधीही काही मागवू शकता. सो व्हॉट हॅज हॅपन्ड इज अननोईंगली वी फील, इट मे नॉट इवन बी कॉन्शियस, but unknowingly there is an impression that I can get what I want when I want. जेव्हा जे पाहिजे ते मी मिळवू शकतो. And technology gives us that illusion. So what happens is, in our life also, in our relationships also, with our friends also, there is a unspoken expectation that I want my friend to behave in this way, I want my family members to behave in this way, and they should behave. त्यांना कळत नाही का की मी किती हुशार आहे, मी किती गोष्टी कंट्रोल करतोय. आपण गोष्टींना कंट्रोल करू शकतो, पण आपण व्यक्तींना कंट्रोल नाही करू शकत. दिस इज अ व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट थिंग दॅट वी नीड टू अंडरस्टँड. सो हॅव यू हर्ड ऑफ विश्वनाथ आनंद? विश्वनाथ आनंद इज वन ऑफ द मोस्ट फेमस chess players of India, and in Russia at one point of time there was a very famous chess player called Garry Kasparov. So I'm just asking you, does anyone of you know how do expert chess players practice? Anybody knows? Anybody aware? What is that?
By sitting.
Okay, so what actually they do is they sit with the chessboard, and it is said that if you want to become the world's greatest chess player, world's #1 chess player, for every move that you make, you need to know 7 moves of the opponent. मी जर ही चाल खेळलो तर समोरचा माणूस 7 वेगवेगळ्या चाली खेळू शकतो, याची कॅपॅसिटी माझ्यामध्ये पाहिजे. आणि त्या 7 चालींना मी काय उत्तर देणार याची कॅपॅसिटी माझ्याकडे पाहिजे. सो इट इन्व्हॉल्व्स व्हिज्युअलायझेशन. इट बेसिकली मीन्स दॅट you need to visualize your opponent. की समजा मी हे खेळलो तर समोरून काय खेळेल तो हे कळू शकतो, मग हे केलं तर माझ्याकडून काय उत्तर आहे, पण तो हे पण करू शकतो, मग त्याच्याकडे माझ्याकडे उत्तर. सो ॲट वन पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम IBM is a world famous computer company. They made a computer and that computer's name was Deep Blue. And one point of time, Gary Kasparov had a game with this Deep Blue. And first time the computer did not win. First time Gary Kasparov win. And second time there was a draw. पण विचार करा की तो जो कम्प्युटर आहे त्याला बेसिकली त्याच्याकडे डोकं नाही आहे ना. That computer doesn't have a brain. So how is the computer playing chess with a live person? Basically, they have put in thousands and thousands of combinations. If this person plays this, then you can place this, or you can place this, or you can play this, or you can place it. So when you feed the computer with thousands and thousands and thousands of combinations, that is how the computer will play chess against a live person. So to become an expert chess player, you have to visualize the moves, the expected moves of the component. Similarly, actually to deal with the fear of social pressure, we can do opposite of that. एका अर्थाने तो जो चेस प्लेयर आहे तो नकारात्मक भावनेला व्हिज्युअलाइज करतोय की मला समोरचा व्यक्ती कशा प्रकारे अटॅक करणार. आणि अपोजिट ऑफ दॅट इज यू व्हिज्युअलाइज युअर सक्सेस. यू व्हिज्युअलाइज जर या गोष्टीमध्ये मी सक्सेसफुल झालो तर काय होऊ शकतं माझ्यासोबत. पीपल विल कम अँड कॉंग्रॅच्युलेट यू. Maybe your real friends will really feel proud about you. They will appreciate you. Yes. And maybe you will become popular. So there is always two sides. One is there is visualization of failure and there is visualization of success. So in chess, if you want to win, then you need to visualize your failure. But in every other game of life, whatever work you are doing, if you can visualize your success, then that will give you a lot of strength to go ahead. यशस्वी झाल्यावर काय काय चांगले बदल माझ्या जीवनात घडू शकतात. That can be a very major impetus. So the solution for social is something that you visualize your success. I remember one of my friends was going to get some award, and when he was walking towards the stage to receive his award, he was feeling very fearful actually. So later he told me, अरे मी जेव्हा जात होतो, पायऱ्या जेव्हा चढत होतो, तेव्हा माझ्या हृदयामध्ये ना खूप कंपन होत होतं. And I still remember when he told me that he was, he had increased heartbeats and he was really anxious. He was experiencing anxiety in his life. I remember comparing his feelings of anxiety to feelings of fear. एका अर्थाने आपण जेव्हा कुठल्या गोष्टीसाठी उत्सुक असतो तेव्हा पण आपल्या हृदयामध्ये थोडी तीच भावना असते की अरे काय होईल. समजा तुमच्या घरी तुमचे आवडते कोणी व्यक्ती येणार आहेत. मे बी ही इज युअर टीचर, मे बी ही इज युअर मदर, मे बी इज युअर फादर, मे बी युअर सिस्टर, मे बी युअर ब्रदर. अँड द टाइम इज ॲट 10 o'clock इन द इव्हनिंग टुडे. 15 मिनिटांनी तुमच्या घरी येणार आहेत. सो 15 मिनिटं आधीपासूनच आपण 1000 वेळा घड्याळाकडे बघणार. अरे आले नाही, आले नाही, फोन करते मी, फोन करतो मी, फोन करणार, पोचले का, हा आता 5 मिनिटात पोचतोय, शेजारीच पोचलोय, पण 5 मिनिटात येत नाही, पुन्हा आपण फोन करणार, आले का नाही वगैरे. सो देर इज लॉट ऑफ एक्साइटमेंट दॅट हॅपन्स इन अवर हार्ट. अँड इफ यू सी द फिजिकल साइड ऑफ एक्साइटमेंट, ऍक्च्युअली इट इज द सेम एज फिअर. इट्स व्हेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. फिअर इज नेगेटिव्ह अँड एक्साइटमेंट इज पॉझिटिव्ह. सो जेव्हा आपल्याला काही अवॉर्ड मिळतो किंवा कोणी आपली प्रशंसा करतात किंवा आपल्याला असं वाटतं की यांनी माझी प्रशंसा करावी, आपल्याला कोणाप्रती आदर असतो आणि त्यांच्याकडून आपल्याला प्रशंसा अपेक्षित असते. So that also causes a lot of, similarity in physical things that happen in the heart. So the solution for social pressure or that fear is that we have to change our direction from fear to excitement. आपल्या आयुष्यात जे काही होणार, ज्याची आपल्याला भीती वाटते, you forget about that and you visualize what if you are successful there, and then it becomes excitement. So जरी हृदयामध्ये तशाच काहीतरी भावना उत्पन्न होत असेल, पण ह्या सकारात्मक भावना आहेत. You are looking forward to that event, whereas in fear you are not looking forward to that event, you are basically running away from that event. So this is also something that will help us. And the third category, we will talk about it now. So in one Nazi camp, some of the prisoners, they had been locked up in that Nazi camp, and very soon they were about to be killed by the soldiers of Adolf Hitler. So one of the guards there, he observed that some prisoners had drawn butterflies on the wall. भिंतीवर असे फुलपाखरू काढले होते. मग तो जो गार्ड आहे त्याला वाटलं की अरे हे लोक मरणार आहेत, यांना आपण इथे कोंडून ठेवलंय आणि काहीच दिवसांनी यांना मारून टाकणार आहे, पण हे असे त्यांनी फुलपाखरू वगैरे का काढलेत. So he went and asked one of the prisoners in that Nazi camp, and that prisoner, he was a Jew. So he said, actually, you know what, an ugly caterpillar changes into a beautiful butterfly. And a phase that changes a caterpillar into a butterfly actually is very painful. So just like the silkworm makes a cocoon, actually this caterpillar also makes a cocoon. And the caterpillar, if you can see on the screen, is very fat, whereas the body of the butterfly is very thin. So that fat caterpillar, it squeezes out of the cocoon, and a lot of water from its body is squeezed out and it becomes very thin, and that is how it becomes transformed into a butterfly. So this prisoner there who was about to die, who was about to be killed by the Nazi soldiers, he said, आता ना तुम्ही जे मला मारणार आहात, actually I am like the caterpillar, but I know God has some plan for me. परमेश्वराला माझ्याकडून काहीतरी अपेक्षित आहे, म्हणून मला एका कठीण परिस्थितीमधून घालतायत. जशा प्रकारे कॅटरपिलरला पण एका कठीण परिस्थितीमध्ये घालतात, एका अळीला कठीण परिस्थितीमध्ये घालतात, त्याच्यानंतर त्याचं रूपांतर एका सुंदर फुलपाखरूमध्ये होतं. सो ही सेड, दिस लाईफ is basically a life of hardships, and maybe there will be death also, but I know God will always give me a better life like a butterfly in my next life. So हे त्या गार्डनी जेव्हा ऐकलं त्या एका बंदिस्त असलेल्या व्यक्तीकडून, तर ही वॉज शॉक्ड and he understood, actually these people, my superiors in the army have told me that these Jews are very nasty people and these Jews have to be killed. So in World War II, basically 120 lakh Jews were killed, 12 million Jews were killed. But when he understood that these Jews are actually very nice people and they have so much faith in God, परमेश्वरामध्ये किती यांना महत्वाची एक आशा आहे, आस्था आहे. So this guard, he basically ran away from that prison. तो पळून गेला तिकडून. तो म्हणाला, माझ्या हाताने ही क्रूरता होऊ शकत नाही, या चांगल्या लोकांना मी मारू शकत नाही. So why am I telling you this story is that the prisoners basically were reassuring themselves, माझ्या जीवनात आज जरी काही अनसर्टन्टी आहे, माझ्या जीवनात आज जरी काही कळत नाहीये की उद्या काय होईल, पण परमेश्वर आहेत ना, आणि जर परमेश्वर आहेत, परमेश्वराच्या सृष्टीमध्ये जरी कुठल्या एका व्यक्तीवर काही कष्ट येतात, पण उद्या त्याचं रूपांतर फुलपाखरूमध्ये होतं. So that's how they underwent that very fearful situation in that Nazi concentration camp. So the source of this uncertainty fear is unsure of what happens next in life. And this is basically the most prominent fear in our lives. The more we become successful, the more we will get this fear. गेले 20 वर्ष माझी प्रॅक्टिस खूप यशस्वी आहे. 2022 मध्ये काय होईल? विल इट स्टील बी सक्सेसफुल? जे अनसक्सेसफुल लोक असतात त्यांच्या जीवनामध्ये हा फिअर नसतो, कारण त्यांना माहिती आहे होऊन होऊन काय होणार आहे. बट द मोर पॉप्युलर यू बिकम, द मोर सक्सेसफुल यू बिकम, दिस इज समथिंग दॅट वी नीड टू डील विथ, अँड देर विल ऑलवेज बी अनसर्टन्टी इन अवर लाईफ. 2019 मध्ये कोणालाच माहिती नव्हतं की 2020 मार्च मध्ये कोविड येणार आहे. And nobody knew Delta variant and all that. And tomorrow there can be some, but we have to be ready for all this. So, last example. Have you seen a father who sometimes throws the child in air? असं कधी कधी आपण हवेमध्ये बाळाला फेकताना पालकांना बघितलंय. So, very interestingly, I also always observed this baby, and this baby would always be smiling. This baby would always be happy. So one time I took one such baby from my father's hands, and in a very small way, I threw the baby in air, and that baby was completely fearful. ते जे मूल होतं ते रडायला लागलं. मग मला एक लक्षात आलं, मी जेव्हा त्या बाळाला नाजूक हाताने असं हवेत जेव्हा फेकलं तेव्हा ते बाळ रडायला लागलं. आणि तेच बाळ पुन्हा एकदा जेव्हा वडिलांकडे गेलं आणि वडिलांनी जेव्हा हवेत फेकलं तेव्हा ते बाळ खिदडत होतं, ते बाळ हसत होतं, आनंदात होतं. मला एक लक्षात आलं, दिस चाइल्ड डज नॉट नो हू आय एम, and because the child does not know who I am, that's why the child is fearful. But as soon as the child knew the father, वडिलांचा चेहरा ओळखीचा होता, when the father threw, there is certainty in uncertainty. There is uncertainty of what happens next, but there is certainty of care of father. माझे वडील मला नक्कीच धरतील आणि माझे वडील नक्कीच मला काहीतरी सुरक्षित करतील. So when we have faith in God, when we are undergoing difficult situations in life, actually we can imagine ourselves की आपण ते लहान बाळ आहोत आणि परमेश्वर आपल्याला असं हवेत फेकतात. तो इन वन सेन्स फिजिकली हवेमध्ये जेव्हा बाळ आहे तेव्हा त्याला माहिती नाही की मी जेव्हा खाली येईन तेव्हा मला नीट धरतील, की मी जमिनीवर पडीन, मला इजा होईल, मला लागेल. पण एक विश्वास असतो ना की माझे वडील जर आहे तर माझे वडील नक्कीच मला पडू देणार नाहीत, मला इजा होऊ देणार नाही, मला जखम होऊ देणार नाही. सो actually the solution for uncertainty is that we cannot remove uncertainty from our lives, but if we have faith in God, then we will see the hand of God in our lives. आतापर्यंत जेव्हा जेव्हा कठीण परिस्थिती आली कॉलेजमध्ये वगैरे किंवा प्रॅक्टिसच्या सुरुवातीला, तेव्हा तेव्हा परमेश्वरांनी मदत केली आहे ना. तेव्हा पण जेव्हा उतार चढाव आले तेव्हा थोडा स्ट्रेस होता, तेव्हा माहिती नव्हतं काय होईल. पण आजपर्यंत आपण पोहोचलोय ना, 2021 पर्यंत पोहोचलोय ना, तर ज्या परमेश्वरांनी हात देऊन 2000 पासून 2021 पर्यंत आणलं, तेच परमेश्वर 2021 पासून 2041 पर्यंत पण घेऊन जायला काही प्रॉब्लेम नाही. बट व्हॉट हॅपन्स इज, when we were young, when we were unsuccessful, there was hope. Now we are not young and now we are successful. So somewhere there is a feeling that now I know how to control life. Now I know how to program my life for success. तर हे नकळतपणे आपल्यामध्ये आता हे असे विचार आलेत की शेवटी माझं यश हे मीच घडवलं. पण प्रॅक्टिस जेव्हा आपण सुरू केली, पहिल्या दिवशी जेव्हा दवाखाना उघडला किंवा पहिल्या दिवशी जेव्हा हॉस्पिटलचं ओपनिंग होतं, त्या दिवशी आपण हे म्हटलं होतं का? सो ऑल ऑफ अस वेन वी ओपन अवर हॉस्पिटल ऑन द फर्स्ट डे, त्या पहिल्या दिवशी परमेश्वराच्या फोटोसमोर नमस्कारच केला होता. आणि त्या पहिल्या दिवशी परमेश्वराला विनंती केली होती की परमेश्वरा, नवीन जागा आहे, नवीन लोक असतील, नवीन पेशंट आहेत, नवीन प्रॅक्टिस आहेत, माहिती नाही कसं होईल, थोडी कृपा द्या. So when we were not in control, actually it was a very safe situation because we were in the hands of God. But now that we are successful, we feel, we are assuming that we have a formula for success. No, we don't have a formula for success, but we have gotten used to success. एक सवय झाली आहे. पण याचा अर्थ नाही की फॉर्म्युला आहे आपल्याकडे. म्हणून आता पण जर जी काही अनसर्टन्टी आपल्या जीवनामध्ये, त्याला जर आपण बघितलं की परमेश्वराचे हात आहेत ना, सो देन वी कॅन safely go through this uncertainty. So I'll stop here and I'll open up. If somebody has any questions, then you can unmute and ask any questions. Basically, I'll just take you to those 10 fears. Yes, somebody wants to ask.
Yes, मी कुत्र्याला आधी घाबरत नव्हते आणि एक दिवशी कुत्रा माझ्या खूप जोरात मागं लागलं आणि त्या दिवशीपासून मी कुत्र्याला जी घाबरायला लागले. परत म्हणजे माझं घाबरणं कधी संपलंच नाही, म्हणजे अजून संपत नाही.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else wants to share something or ask something?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Actually, we were discussing about reconnecting with our roots. तर ते ऐकत असताना माझ्या डोक्यात एक विचार सहज येऊन गेला की कुठल्याही स्त्रीचं आयुष्य बिफोर मॅरेज आणि आफ्टर मॅरेज, इफ यू डिवाइड इंटू 2 पार्ट्स, तर लग्नाच्या आधी तिचा माहेरचे संस्कार आणि लग्नानंतर सासरचे संस्कार. तर बऱ्याचदा नवीन वातावरणात मोल्ड होण्यासाठी आम्हाला आमचे जे ओरिजिनल रूट्स असतात त्याच्यात आम्ही खूप सारे बदल करतो जस्ट टू गेट अक्वेंटेड विथ द न्यू ॲटमॉस्फिअर. पण लक्षात असं येतं की ओव्हर अ पिरियड ऑफ अ टाइम, आफ्टर सर्टन इयर्स, मे बी 20-25 years ऑफ युअर मॅरिड लाईफ, तुम्ही यू डेफिनेटली रिडायरेक्ट टू युअर ओरिजिनल रूट्स. म्हणजे रिकनेक्टिंग विथ युअर ओल्डर रूट्स हे इट्स अ पार्ट ऑफ लाईफ अँड इट हॅपन्स नॅचरली, मे बी ड्यू टू अ लॉट ऑफ इन्सिडन्सेस इन युअर लाईफ, किंवा maybe it's a destiny again. I don't know what should we call it. What do you say about this?
See, कधी पण ना आपल्यामध्ये there is a ability in all of us which is called as adapting to changes. So as you rightly mentioned, pre-marriage and post-marriage, especially for the female, there's a lot of changes. The whole family changes, the setup changes, the culture changes. And at that point of time, when marriage happens, actually that adaptability is very important. Imagine a girl who goes to her in-laws' place, but does not change even a little bit and does not adapt even a little bit to the in-laws situation. So त्यावेळी ते खूप महत्वाचं असतं की नवीन गोष्टी शिकणं, तिकडले रीतिरिवाज असतात काही ते शिकणं. But after some period, when you are accepted into the in-laws family, you understand now. I have been more or less accepted by the in-laws family. At that point of time, कारण आपण ज्या वातावरणात वाढलो आहोत, ज्या वातावरणामध्ये आपल्यावर संस्कार घडलेत, ज्या वातावरणामध्ये आपल्याला शिकवण्यात आलं की जीवन काय आहे, what exactly is life, what are the values of life, what is important in life, what is not important in life. So ते जर आपण विसरलो ना, then basically we lose our identity. आपली ओळख असते ती. लग्नाच्या आधी पण बरेच संघर्ष एका महिलेच्या जीवनात आलेले असतात, and then she has to deal with all that. So then somebody has taught her की जीवनाकडे आपण असा एक पर्स्पेक्टिव्ह ठेवायला पाहिजे, असा दृष्टिकोन ठेवायला पाहिजे. जीवनामध्ये जेव्हा संघर्ष येतात तेव्हा एका महिलेनी त्या संघर्षांना कसं बघायला पाहिजे. पुरुष त्या संघर्षाला वेगळ्या दृष्टीने बघतात, कारण द मेंटॅलिटी ऑफ ए मेल बॉडी अँड द मेंटॅलिटी ऑफ ए फिमेल बॉडी इज लिटिल डिफरंट. So after you have been sufficiently accepted in the in-laws family, I believe it is important to go back to the roots and try to understand की माझे मुळातले माझे संस्कार काय होते. मुळात माझ्या जीवनामध्ये लग्नाच्या पूर्वी माझ्या जीवनात कुठल्या गोष्टींना मी वर्चस्व दिलं होतं, लग्नाआधी माझ्या जीवनामध्ये मी कुठल्या गोष्टींना अधिक महत्व दिलं होतं. And this is not just for females, but it also for males also. It could be that we are originally from a rural place and now we are in an urban place. And because we have now shifted to an urban place, so then, the way we eat, the way we behave, the way we speak changes. But over a period of time, what happens is, if we are not connected to our roots, we will basically become non-functional because we don't have any identity. कारण आपण ज्याच्यातून आलोय, ज्या परिस्थितीतून आलोय त्याला आपण विसरलो, किंवा आपण विसरायचा कमीत कमी प्रामाणिक प्रयत्न तरी करतोय, पण स्वतःला विसरून चालणार नाही. म्हणून कुठेतरी आपलं कल्चर, आपली संस्कृती, जीवनामध्ये आपल्या आई वडिलांनी जे आपल्याला काही मूळ सिद्धांत जे शिकवले होते, जीवन आपण कसं जगायला पाहिजे, द मोर वी रिकनेक्ट टू इट, द मोर वी आर ऍक्च्युअली रिकनेक्टेड टू अवर ओन आयडेंटिटी. A person who has no identity basically cannot function properly. Everything that we do in life is based on our identity. So some of us might feel my primary identity is I am a doctor. So then घरी जेव्हा मुलांसोबत हे बसले तेव्हा पण ते त्यांच्या प्रॅक्टिस बद्दल विचार करत असतात. Why? Because for them more important than being a father is they being a doctor. But there could be a doctor who's more concerned about his role as a father than his role as a doctor. So कधी कधी हॉस्पिटलमध्ये पण he is planning for some trip. मग कोणतरी नर्स येऊन म्हणणार, डॉक्टर तुम्ही काय विचार करता? म्हणजे नाही, या वीकेंडला मला फॅमिलीला घेऊन बाहेर जायचंय, त्याचं मी प्लॅनिंग करत होतो म्हणून. सो बेसिकली युअर आयडेंटिटी डिटरमाइन्स व्हॉट इज युअर मेडिटेशन, अँड युअर मेडिटेशन डिटरमाइन्स व्हॉट इज युअर ऍक्शन. सो हे संघर्ष आपले आहेत. आय एम शुअर some families are undergoing this, that some people at our homes are complaining to us की तुम्ही परिवाराला योग्य वेळ नाही देत आहात. आणि आय एम शुअर that in some cases the hospital staff is complaining to the doctors, सर तुमचं प्रॅक्टिस कडे आता इतकं फारसं लक्ष नाही. इट मे नॉट बी स्टाफ, इट मे बी देअर इक्वल्स, मे बी सम अदर डॉक्टर इज टेलिंग देम की आजकाल तुमचं प्रॅक्टिस कडे नाहीये. सो दिस इज समथिंग दॅट वी हॅव टू अंडरस्टँड की माझ्या जीवनामध्ये काय महत्वाचं आहे. अँड फॉर डिफरंट पीपल इट विल बी डिफरंट, बट द मोर वी कनेक्ट टू अ रूट्स, क्लॅरिटी विल कम. जीवनात कुठल्या गोष्टीला महत्व द्यायचंय आणि समतोल कसं राहायचंय. अर्थातच कुठल्या एका गोष्टीला टोकाला जाऊन काही फायदा नसतो. द मोर वी गो टू एक्स्ट्रीम्स, it is always very painful and it is always very dangerous. We need to balance our family life with our own health life, with our own professional life, and also, some amount of spirituality should be there. So how to balance all this? The more we go back to our roots, the more it becomes very easy to understand, the more it becomes clear to understand.